The movie begins with a person trying to cross the busy road, with a gun in his hand and reaching a house where many people lying dead. After entering the house, he heard several gunshots being fired inside the house. When he tried to look inside a room, a gun was pointing at his back. The story then jumps in time to 1989, and we see 3 kids in a room, where a woman was trying to tend to a specially abled girl kid. Another kid, who also seems to have special needs, was trying to solve a puzzle on a table, and another kid sitting silently on a chair. Later revealed that the boy's parents are visiting a doctor in Harvard Neuroscience for consulting the boy's condition, a form of autism. Suddenly, the boy gets agitated as he was not able to find the last piece of the puzzle in the table, however, was helped by the girl to find it. Upon getting the puzzle piece, the boy becomes immediately calm and finishes the puzzle. The story jumps in time to the present day where Christian Wolf, an accountant, in his office, is talking to his clients, trying to help with their taxes, and was able to do so. With gratitude, the clients offered him to visit their farm. In a parallel scene, Treasury analyst Medina is talking to her superior, Raymond King, in his office, where he appreciates her work and then questioned about she hiding her criminal past in the Treasury job application. He then tasked her with a job to find an elusive person, who go by several names and popularly as the accountant, within a month, else threatens to disclose her criminal past, which may send her to prison for felony. He tells her that with only 7 months left for his retirement, he wants to bring this accountant to justice, who's helping all the big criminals with black money laundering. Christian returns to his minimalistic home from work and remembers the time when his mother abandoned them. We learned here that Christian is the special needs kid we saw initially. Later, he visits his client's place and shows his impeccable shooting skills in their farm. He then visits his storage cabin to drop off his shooting gun and remembers his jail time with an older inmate named Francis. We also get to know that he works with a mysterious woman who helps him getting all the required information to get his work done. Next day, Christian visits his new client's office, Living Robotics, and meets the key persons in the company, including CEO Mr. Lamar Blackburn, his sister Rita, and CFO Ed Chilton. He learnt that the in-house accountant, Dana Cummings, has discovered some financial irregularities in company's financial books. He was hired to ascertain if the findings are correct or not. Lamar assures of providing all the required information for Christian's work. Meanwhile, somewhere in Zurich, Switzerland, Simon Dewey from Dewey Capital was threatened by an armed person to stop shorting stocks of a European manufacturing company for his own good. Next day, Christian started reviewing the company's financial record books of the past 15 years and completes it in one night to determine that someone has embezzled company's money to the tune of $61 million, proving Dana to be right. He reports it to Rita and accepts that he doesn't have any knowledge about the thief. That night, CFO Ed was forced to overdose himself to death with insulin by the same armed person who threatened Simon Dewey in Zurich. Next day, during his visit to Living Robotics' office for completing the remaining audit work, Christian learns about the incident and gets a little agitated. To calm his mind, he went to his old client's farm for a shooting session. He remembered how his father taught him to fight for himself. While he was there preparing for shooting gears, the same assassins entered into the client's home and ordered them to call Christian inside the house so that they can kill him. But their plan backfired, and both the assassins are killed by Christian. Before dying, one assassin revealed Dana was their next target. From there, he collected Dana's address with the help of the mysterious women and went to Dana's home to save her. But before he could enter her flat, the assassins already attacked her. However, at the nick of time, she was saved by Christian. They went to his storage unit, collected few required things, and went to a hotel for the night's stay. In the hotel room, they shared about their past life, and during the discussion, feels a deeper connection with each other. Suddenly, Christian almost solves the puzzle of the embezzled money from Living Robotics, and he goes to confront Rita. While on his way to meet Rita, he contacted the mysterious woman he works with. The woman warns him to leave this investigation and disappear for his own safety. But he's determined to find the person behind all these issues. After reaching Rita's home, he saw someone coming out of her house. He follows him, but the person was able to escape by creating nuisance in the area with few gunshots. Meanwhile, Medina is able to make some progress into finding the details of the accountant. She narrowed down her search criteria and asks for help from her colleague in finding the elusive accountant. After working overnight, she and her colleague was able to zero in on Christian Wolf as their prime suspect and informs the same to Raymond King. Apart from figuring the different way he was using to launder money, she also finds that a substantial amount of money was being donated to Harbor Neuroscience by Christian, which puzzles them. Christian enters into Rita's home, only to find out that she's already killed. He returns to his hotel room and finds Dana sleeping on the couch. He sits down and remembers an incident from his past, where his father taught him and his younger brother to take charge of his life by taking on the street bullies. Medina and Ray went to Christian's minimalistic home and finds the house is covered with high-tech security cameras. They also find guns hidden in places. They are now sure that this is their elusive accountant. After house search was over and all other police teammates left, Medina and Ray King divulged their past incidents to each other. Medina fought with a drug cartel agent to save his sister from becoming a drug addict. Ray King confessed how his one mistake took the life of an old jail inmate named Francis, who was in his protective custody. He mentioned meeting the accountant when he came to take revenge of Francis' death. It was the very first scene in the movie where the accountant pointed a gun at Raymond King's back. He mentioned to Medina that many of his past cases were being tipped off by a mysterious woman who works for the accountant, Christian Wolf, and wishes Medina to do the same after he's retired. The scene goes to Mr. Lamar's home, where the assassin with his team is preparing a defense perimeter to defend Lamar from the accountant. He was trying to get a picture of the accountant's look from Lamar when they heard a gunshot. They understood that the house has been invaded by the accountant. A fight breaks out between the assassin's team and Christian. He kills all the team members of the assassin. The assassin then noticed through the security camera something familiar in the accountant. He came in front, and Christian calls him as Braxton, revealing he was his younger brother. Braxton confronts Christian why did he and their father went to their mother's funeral, and that they should have remembered how she abandoned them. Their father was killed in a brawl that day during the funeral. Lamar comes out and tries to strike a conversation with Christian, saying how important his work is, and that all these he did to save the company, to help people. But even before he could finish talking, Christian shoots and kills him. Then he left saying he will find and meet Braxton in a week in some place. The scene goes back to Harbor Neuroscience, where a doctor is consulting with the parents of another kid with autism. He tells them that autistic kids may have lots of potential in them, which we tend to ignore, thinking they are different than us. When they were discussing, their son wanders in the institute and enters a room of an adult autistic woman. Her name is Justine, and she's the daughter of the doctor. He tells the parents that he started this institute because of her, and that he's fortunate to have some very generous donor to keep the institute running without any issue. It's revealed that the mysterious woman Christian worked with was none other than Justine. Dana visits Christian's storage unit, only to find it empty. Later, while at home, she got a delivery. When opened, she was awestruck to find a very precious painting inside. Christian is going somewhere with his storage unit attached to car.